Now, we've seen some funky-ass own goals in this save, but I think this one takes the biscuit, and there's no way you can tell me that this is not deliberate. I think he's got a problem with his manager.
Into the black hole. Sing for my soul.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Sunshine on Leyth. As always, if you're enjoying the save, drop a like on the video. That would be superb. We have a youth intake preview. I've got something else to quickly mention before that, but you might see something in here that's kind of interesting. But yes, as you would already know, there was a similar sound issue on yesterday's video. The first time I thought I'd fixed it, but this time I actually have. I figured out exactly what the problem was. Basically, my noise cancellation software was crashing, but in a way that I couldn't tell that it had crashed, and now I've managed to just bypass it entirely because it is getting on my nerves. So we should no longer have that problem ever again. But again, apologies, because I really do want things to be great, and it's so frustrating when that happens. So we move on to the fact that our youth intake preview, we have one good Liberian attacking midfielder from Varlican who has caught the eye. That sounds like somewhere in the Netherlands, to be fair, but I assume it's probably not. Maybe they were a Dutch colony? I don't actually know. Although, were they a US colony? I can't remember. Point is, that's awesome. We're getting a Liberian player in our youth intake, and he's considered the best of the bunch. Imagine if he was actually decent. That would be amazing. So there we go. Which brings me to my question of the day. Yes, that's right. What's the weirdest nationality you've ever had in a youth intake? And by that I mean, like, separate to the country you're managing in. So say you're managing in, like, I don't know, Finland, and you get, like, a player from Eritrea. Do let me know the weirdest combination you've had. Be very interested to see, because that, for me, was one of the weirder ones. For me, the biggest problem with set pieces this year isn't them being too good. It's more that the AI seems to be able to create and defend set pieces in ways human players do not have available to them. Yes, this is, I think, you've hit the nail on the head. I've sort of been circling around this for a while, but you're right. I think sometimes I put it down to them being too good because I'm trying to sort of role play it into the story a little bit, and, you know, which is why I do say some things I do. Mainly it's just to further the story, where in fact it's just like a match engine bug or something. In the same way that the handball in the last one, I'm sure the game doesn't consider that to be a handball, but works with the story, you know? But it does seem that when an AI team gets a free kick, particularly in wide areas, actually, to be fair, in general, there's no way of defending them in certain scenarios, and it's very annoying because you don't have the option to set your players up to do that from an attacking perspective. So it can be a frustrating one. I think the hidden mental attributes for CT in previous years are no longer making the difference. The 7 in finishing is punishing his attempts a lot this season. Yeah, I think for whatever reason that he was successful before, it might have been down to pure physicals, but I think there was more than that. He had to have something hidden that was working for him. I think that he's not able to ride on that alone anymore. But in all honesty, CT has still had an incredible career at Whitport, and we'll obviously finish out the season with him here because we're not like expected to go up or anything. So I think we'll do okay with him this season, and next year maybe look for something a bit different. So today we're playing Mansfield. We did have a quick game off camera though. Very quickly, we actually knocked Liverpool's under-23s out of the EFL trophy, which was very strange. Teal scored a banger. They got a penalty, as it is. We always concede a penalty whenever we play Liverpool. And then James Dale, who only scores in the Cups, gave us the win. We weren't particularly good on the night, but we're through. We'll play Wolves under-23s now. We're actually going quite far at a trophy I'm not trying to win. Today, we face Oliver Pullman's Mansfield. They've got a few players missing. They are down towards the bottom. Honestly, with the form we're in, I see no reason why we can't go out here and try and win this one as well. We just got to keep this going as long as possible because there is going to be a dip at some point. And we just have to be prepared for that. However, oh no, that's fine. We've got full rotation nearly. Surely he's able to come back in though. Yeah, Thornley. I'm definitely going with Thornley at the moment. I'm preferring him currently. Richardson and Idris. Cross, I'm still going to go with CT. He's still putting in solid-ish performances and has a nice partnership with Neil Cross. He's starting to provide more assists again now, which is good. Morton, he is looking sensationally good now. He's developing wonderfully. I can't wait to see what he can do. I'm honestly quite proud of what we've built this season. I think with a goalkeeper and maybe a better pressing forward, we'd have a really solid side here. Right, let's crack on. Let's get on this. So since I'm actually only recording one video today, which is a nice thing, I'm going to do a bigger chunk of games off camera, like 6 or 7, because, you know, I feel like we've had a few shorter episodes in terms of the number of games covered lately because of the heat mainly. But today I can have the fan when I'm not recording videos, so it's okay. I really do feel like the Johnson and Morton wing play has been sensational this year and really is one of the keys to our success. Along with the fact that all of a sudden Neil Cross has finally stepped up. I think maybe we were too harsh on him early doors. That injury, when he came back in from his injury, Wakeling had scored a couple of goals, and as a result I didn't put him straight back in the team. And I think that might have been the right decision at the time because I think Wakeling had deserved it, but it seems like Crossy is definitely holding down that role now, and I think he'll go on to probably score about 20-23 goals for us this year in total. Not in the league perhaps, but in total. Thornley, round the side for Johnson again, opens up a huge amount of space, and Cross, and well, the cross for Cross, and Neil Cross smashes it into the back of the net. Whitport 1, Mansfield 0. Ben Johnson with another assist for the year. He's so good at picking out that run. But look at this ball from Thornley. He just completely takes the defence out with one pass. Little bit of a shade of offside there, but it doesn't matter. Tons of room. Cross gets in there. Little toe poke. 11th goal of the season for Neil Cross. I think we might have found our new hero, folks. Parry with a long ball. Flicked away. Richardson brings this down. Goes out for Morton again. This defence. Oh, what a touch from Dave Morton! And he's tried to squeeze it through. This is just the perfect first half. We need a second goal, though. Fighting it out. Farrell. And Thompson. Don't let him get the shot away. Thornley. That is not a penalty, surely. Oh, dearie me. Bad from Thornley there. Come on, Idahan. Can you do the job here? Right on the stroke of half time. Can he save it? No, he can't. As Mansfield find an equaliser. We've bottled our chances so far today. We should be at least 2 goals ahead. And then right on the stroke of half time, we go and concede a penalty, which could see us no longer be neck and neck. We've still got a second half done, I'm confident. Oh, set piece chance. Come on. Michael Lee to deliver one. Where is Knight? There he is, and it's just wide as Oxford got one back too. Pressing quite nicely late on here. Cross knocks it down. He's got it back. Bit of space. Look at the space for Dave Morton. Oh, he didn't play the pass. Patrick, round the side for Curtis Thomas! Yes! 86th minute, Curtis Thomas gives Whitport the lead against Mansfield. I think we've deserved it, but it's been a tight game. Mick Patrick coming off the bench there to slip one round the corner. CT has still got something to offer. His 8th goal of the year. I feel like Neil Cross being in the team, look at this little ball around the side. Neil Cross being in the team, I feel like has improved Curtis Thomas for some reason. I don't know why, but it has. It's like he needs a strike partner that can really link up with him perfectly. Loads of space for Nevitt. This is, I mean... We've dug deep when we needed to here, and we look like we found it. Both strikers scoring today as well. Neil Cross into the box. Can he grab another one? Oh. Matthews with a bit of space. He's a bit too wide to surely get this, though. Oh, wow, that's surely off. It's not. Eddie Brown with the 93rd minute equaliser. Like, we have space here, but he pushes it so wide that I just assume this guy's offside. No, he's not. Knight's gone way too deep for some reason. And it's a great finish from Eddie Brown, and we've just been... I think we deserve better, but we can't... If we defend like that, it looks like the winning run will in fact come to an end here as we drop out of the top 2 and Blackhaven win again. That's a frustrating one. I feel like we should be winning that match, but we just got a bit complacent towards the end. Right, big chunk of games off camera. Let's see where we are when we come back. Hopefully this won't be a catalyst for a bad run. Right guys, we're back. I decided to do a big old bumper crop of games off camera. I mean a lot, because I could never really find the right stopping point. I had a few ideas of where to stop, and eventually we've ended up stopping with Notts County. But firstly, yeah, I don't know. We came up against, well, I think they were 11th place Sunderland at home. Big side, of course. Brought a lot of fans to the stadium. Brannigan getting into the box, whapping it low, and it was 1-0 Sunderland. We just didn't look good, frankly. It seems like that Mansfield goal late on just killed us. And then, of course, well, it wouldn't be us without a goal from an indirect free kick. I have some stats for those in a minute, and they are absolutely insane. Next up, we went away to Blackpool. Played brilliantly going forward, but of course, it wouldn't be us without conceding an annoying goal like this. Pike gets the ball here. He's just... There's so many players in the way, and he's still able to get it through there, and Blackpool get the lead. Thankfully, though, we finally started to show something here. Jacob Wakeling forced to start here as we started to get the injuries piling up, unfortunately. Thomas switched around the side. There was Ben Johnson, off the post, eventually put over the line by Curtis Thomas. An absolute melee, but not the worst sort of defensive mistake you'll see today. Then, almost immediately, basically, we turned this game around. I thought, finally, we're about to start getting back on it a little bit after the 2 poorer results. Ball to the back post. There was Ben Johnson to thrash one home for 2-1. But it did not last, as Blackpool were level before half-time had even struck. Ball whipped in, comes down. Here is Virtue, just bang. Just so easy. Bang, back of the net, 2-2. I have made some signings as well in this period, which I'll show you too. They're all loan signings, but they had to be done. And I've also sent back Jackman, Dixon, and Taylor because their wages were too high and we weren't really using them. We then hosted Chesterfield, were very poor and conceded a goal from a corner this time. Set pieces, obviously doing their thing. After this match though, we'd had 11 players from the first team out injured. Double anyone else. Will Harding came off the bench this time to score us an equaliser from a corner. We then found ourselves in the FA Cup third round against Hull City. I was hoping we'd have some good luck here, but it just wasn't to be. Bang, again, long range strike, bottom corner, 1-0 Hull. They were quite good though. Thankfully, though, we were at least able to get an equaliser this time and force a replay against Hull. But I really want... We would have played Palace at home had we managed to get through this straight away. Smashing strike from Curtis Thomas, though, to bail us out a little bit. He's been one of the few goal scorers. But the injuries were really mounting up at this point. To have 11 first-team players out injured. Richardson was out for he's missed every single match off camera, basically. All bar one, I think. He had an injury, came back, and then immediately got injured again before he'd even had a chance to do a training session. He may well be back today for his first game in about a month and a half. But yes, we went out of the Stupid Trophy no one cares about against Wolves. Frustrating one. We had played all right, but they beat us on pens. But then it actually finally happened. We got a victory in the league. Curtis Thomas getting the ball played through to him, and he just does Curtis Thomas things and smashes it home for 1-0 against Colchester. Such an important goal for us. Not so important, of course, that we then didn't concede from an indirect free kick. It was one of these ones. We had enough players around here, but unfortunately, they all sort of run in all kinds of directions. Larinaga gets it, and you know what happens from here. Ball, back post, bam. First goal of the season for Larinaga, 1-1. Thankfully, though, we did actually stick in. We had a few players back from injury now, and we were starting to look a little bit better. Johnson driving towards the box, dinking one at the back post. There was Dave Morton to give us the winning goal. They had a red card too, but players back, we were looking better. Unfortunately, the replay at Hull came at the worst possible time, right after we'd won a match. We actually played really well up at Hull as well. I thought we were decent on the night. They scored a penalty early on. They then made it 2-0 in the first half. As Long gets the ball, he's able to put this ball into the box, and there they were at the back post. Diallo with the header, a cross goal, 2-0 Hull City. Yeah, the last thing we needed is a loss straight after that, because we just got our confidence back, looking good. We did get a goal back at the start of the second half. Ball was whipped in. There was Kai Knight, but it wasn't enough, and we went out 2-1. We'd have played Palace in the next round. We then parlayed that into a dreadful 0-0 at home against Accrington Stanley, in which they did not have a shot on target, but we were still unable to register a goal because reasons. It's just actually crazy how much the tiniest little thing, bam, butterfly slaps its wins, and you lose a lot of game. We then went up to Doncaster and had a very, very even game. Unfortunately, though, their centre-back scored his first goal of the season in the 30th minute from a corner, 1-0 Donny. We then fought hard to get back into this game. I think we were solid. Definitely deserved a point at least. Ball was cleared away. There, eventually it comes out. Thomas drops it off to Idris, and he scores his first goal of the season for us. 1-1. I thought, yes, we can build on this. Except we couldn't, because then they got an indirect free kick. The ball was flicked down, and then their centre-back scored his second goal of the season. Same bloke. But then we finally got another win. 5-3 as well. Morton with a lovely free kick gave us the lead after 7 minutes, but it was later in the game when things went off the handle. Of course, it didn't stop us from conceding an equaliser in this one, but it was at least from open play, so we'll take that, I suppose. Little John with the ball at the back post, goalkeeper all over the shop. Little gets a touch on it, but it's, yeah, 1-1. Now, we've seen some funky-ass own goals in this save, but I think this one takes the biscuit, and there's no way you can tell me that this is not deliberate. I think he's got a problem with his manager. Check this one out. So Nevitt whips the ball into the box. It's cleared away. Morton then is then comfortable, knocks it one down for Idris. Loads of space for Michael Lee. Now watch the Oxford defender. Ball in, and bam! Just top corner, smashes it home. Brilliant finish from Cochrane there. Of course, we still managed to concede an equaliser, and amazingly, yet again, was not from a set piece in this one either. Mayer with the ball to the edge of the box. For Mayhew gets a great touch inside to Little, who then just bends one past Idahan. I am looking for another goalkeeper, I promise, but it's just hard. But then in the 84th minute, I thought we'd scored the winner. Idris's ball in, cleared away. Wakeling brings it down. This is nice, actually. Just gets his head up, whips it across the box, and there was Ben Johnson, 3-2 in the 85th minute. Lovely. But it was not to be because, well, you know, they got an indirect free kick. Ball to the back post, easy stuff for Oxford, 3-3. But then, enter Jacob Wakeling. 92nd minute, Morton driving into the box here. Gets across, Wakeling's there, lovely little touch to bring that down, opens his body up, 4-3 in the 92nd minute. But amazingly, there was actually still time for one more goal as Johnson picks up the ball again, whips it through into the channel. There is Jacob Wakeling. This is rolling back the years, goes round the goalkeeper, 5-3 to Whitport, 2 goals for him off the bench. Fair play, Jacob. But we were then unable to make anything of it as Milton Keynes, well, edge of the box here, McIntosh brings it down, whap, straight in the back of the net, just easy as you like. We gave them basically just long shots in this game, but it was not enough. We didn't take our chances, and then they got another goal from a corner straight after that. Comes to the edge of the box again. Hey, where have I seen this before? Deflecting off of one of our players to go straight in the back of the net. Cool. And amazingly, all of that actually only leaves us 8th in the league with a game in hand, because nobody apparently wants to win matches anymore. Even the league-leading Fleetwood are still on less than 2 points a game, but we're still top of the injury list, but at one point it was 11, and nobody had more than 4. It was crazy. So, signings. So we brought in Nick Holman on loan from Crystal Palace as a pressing forward. Now again, he does have poor finishing, but he's slightly better in other areas than Curtis Thomas. I just wanted to try something out. And in that same breath, I also brought in Sia Lamini on loan from Millwall, who can kind of play in both roles, which is why I was interested, because he's got decent enough attributes for the pressing forward side of things, but he can also strike pretty nicely too. I also brought in Curtis Page because the opportunity came up to get him on loan from Stoke. These guys are on much smaller wages too, compared to the guys we were signing. He's not great in the mobility, but he's a really good defensive midfield player, which is why I figured he'd do a good job. Not had the best time of it so far, though. And lastly, Harry Thomas Barker. I tried to bring in another goalkeeper, but it turns out this guy was even worse. We didn't have any knowledge. There was no goalkeepers available. Went for the moment with the highest rep, and it was this guy from Notts County. He's no better than Idahan, is he really? So yeah, frustrating times. Brief look at Blackhaven. They have made some signings. They've brought in Odosina from Wimbledon. They've brought in Nathan Broom from Forest Green. Greg Botfield, who's an amazing player. They've brought in from Barnsley on 300k as a steal. Lewis Macy from Manchester United. I don't know who he actually is. We don't know much about him. And they've also brought in D'Amico Duhaney of Notts County fame. He's gone to Blackhaven United for nearly £750,000. They've obviously decided to strengthen as they push for a promotion this year, because they've kind of been all over the shop. But I mentioned I had a little some stats for you on the dead ball situation, because I actually have now. I went in, I looked at where we were conceding the goals, how they were coming about. It's almost always ball to the back post. Either it's directly straight in from the back post, or it's flicked towards the front post for another guy running in. All we can really do is put our best headers and tallest players in those positions to try to block those runs. But it does seem that no matter how tall or big or good in the air the player you put there is, even if they're 6'6", 6'7", no matter who they're up against at the back post, they will always, not always, but very regularly lose out to players that are 5'10". It just, I don't know, it seems impossible. But the stats you were talking about, we've conceded 28 goals this season from dead ball situations, 6 penalties, 14 indirect free kicks, and 9 corners. No, not 14. 13 indirect free kicks and 9 corners. So to give you an idea, that's 65% of the goals we've conceded this year have been from dead ball situations. I thought, surely there's other teams that are even near to us. Wimbledon have actually conceded more, 29 goals from set pieces this year, but that still only accounts for 49% of their goals. It's ridiculous. And I don't really know there's much we can do about it, unfortunately. No matter what, I even changed the strategies for defending them, having more people in the wall, less people in the wall, more people trying to cluster the back post. I think it's one of those things that we just kind of have to accept, that some years it's just going to be horrendous, and this year it is firmly horrendous. But that's enough stuff. This episode's already going to be long as it is. We need to play against Notts County today, who did beat someone 6-0, which is actually surprising because they haven't scored that many goals. We're still the top scorers in the league, bear in mind, but Jesus. So still out. We've got Kai Knight out with a cold. He's been sent home. Patrick's out, Nevitt's out, and Dale's out. So it's not too bad against Neil Lennon's Notts County. It's the best it's been for a while. So I'm going to do a switcheroo because, let's face it, we have no idea who's available. I honestly don't know who to put up front with Cross, quite frankly. There's so many options now. CT, Dlamini, Holman. Like, I might just go with CT again, to be honest. Ben Johnson's not fit again yet, so Morton will have to start. Is Richardson actually available yet? No, he's not. I mean, no. No, he's not. I think the lack of Richardson has really hampered us as well. Thornley is finally back playing games, which is nice. Unfortunately, without Knight now. Nevitt's obviously gone as well, but I might be tempted to start Michael Lee. Even Terry Bishop is finally back to fitness. That's how long it's been. Going to put Curtis Page on the bench too, because he can definitely do a job. He's just not really shown it so far. Oh, maximum 5 lone players. Okay, yeah, okay. We'll bring Harding in instead of Lamini, because we do have Wakeling on the bench. So, Leighton Stewart. Got any plans to handball one into the net again, bud? We can hopefully avenge County, though. This would be nice. Let's go out there. Like, we have picked up a couple of victories over this period, but they've always looked a little bit shaky, to be honest. We've not looked that same kind of serene side that could just wipe the floor with people. Morton to put the ball in, though. Can we score one of our own? Dave Morton, back post, Aline! And it's tipped over by Dean. And honestly, given the run we're on, it's actually crazy that we're still involved in the battle, but one win in our game in hand would see us straight back up there and only be a point off of it, incredibly. Because nobody wants to win, apparently. How is that a penalty? Make that 29 goals conceded from set pieces this season. I do count penalties as set pieces, because they are still dead ball. Wow, we actually saved one. Mother of God. Well, there we go. Hey, maybe the luck's turning around. But I do think the lack of Richardson is a massive deal. He is such a creative force in this team, and nobody really comes close to him. The others have done okay in there, but they don't do what he does on such a regular basis, basically. That's the key thing for me. Cross, flicks it down for Vernon. That's better. Spreads it out wide for Jennings. A bit more football actually happening from us now. Idris, and space out wide for Thornley. He's got to whip this into somebody. Goes for Jennings. Thomas. Oh, better. Much better. It's also made worse in the fact that we don't concede as many fouls as we used to either. Thomas might go alone here. Goes for Vernon. Goes for... Oh, he's just wasting it. And Regan Booty, of course, playing for Notts County today. He didn't play... Oh, please don't play the pass, Regan. Leighton Stewart. Great block. We've not been super impressive so far. It's been very even. They've had probably the better of the shot. Angry sipping intensifies. Oh, at least it wasn't to the back post this time. It was just to this guy, who I don't know who this is. The shorter of the two centre-backs, in fairness. It's just, you send the big guy to mark the others, and then you just end up with that guy getting it instead. We're still overachieving. We didn't expect anything from this season other than to stay up. That was always my plan. And I did say when we went on that winning run that it's going to come back to us at some point, and it, boy, has it. Doesn't help that we miss a lot of the situations when we're put in very similar positions. Morton. How are they able to win that? Thomas. Perry, and it's in! Josh Parry has scored! Wow, we've actually got one of our own. Whitport 1, Notts County 1. Parry, he scored 2 in one game, and barely has scored one since then, somehow. Curtis Thomas, another assist for him. A bit of fortune with the way this breaks. Great headed clearance, but lovely work from Thomas just to rush this back, and Parry has absolutely walloped it. 1-1, give them the taste of their own medicine. If you can't beat him, join him. Idris, Elaine, and it's headed wide. He's so tall, he wins everything, but he could just never get the bastards on target. That's the problem. Oh, unless, come on. Keep us in the battle. A lean, and it's over the crossbar again. Oh, no. No, look. Oh, he nearly crept in as well. Flicked away. Oh, God. Salmon. Lots of options. Tons of players back, and all cleared, and... Oh, dear. When it ain't going your way, it ain't going your way, is it? It's just deflected again into the path of Fingieva, and it's going to be a win for Notts County here at Castle Park. I thought we'd clear the danger, actually. We got a good block on it, and it... What are the chances? It just deflects perfectly into the guy's path. Jacob Wakeling, where's the ball? He's going alone. Go on, Jacob. Earn that equaliser. No, it's going to get blocked, isn't it? Vernon, saved by Dean. No, that's not happening. They've been decent. Create some decent chances against us. We just... Oh, hello. Ray Jennings. Oh, come on, Ray. What are you doing? He's offside anyway. We weren't good enough again. Gave up shitty goals in classic Whitport style this season. That's sort of the story of our year. Big attendances, which is nice, but a frustrating one to be sure, as we now do start to fall away from the playoffs. Although, honestly, one win in our off-camera game, or like in our game in hand, will pull us right back in because it is so unbelievably tight unless you're Fleetwood. So there we have it. It's actually insane how our season started. A few little wins there, and they're just on a dreadful run. And then, like, we get this result against Charlton, bam, catalyst for an amazing run. And even then, we still haven't lost many. But now it's just, you can see what I mean? It's weird. It's so strange, the momentum swings. So, next episode is going to be Burton Albion, and maybe Blackhaven. We're not sure. That might be too much for one episode. We might do Blackhaven at the start of the next one after that. Regardless, we're coming to the end of the season. You never know. We might be able to get ourselves back into it. I don't really know, though, because we've dropped a lot of points against poor sides. So, if you've enjoyed this episode, in spite of that, it's been a long one, I feel like. Drop a like. That would be superb. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. That would be sick as well. And I'll join you guys in the next episode for, hopefully, us turning this around a little bit. We really do need to just pull our fingers out. So I'll see you guys soon. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.